Now go.
See, and this is when we just take that really awkward pause and edit it out. Or we don't. Isn't that the epitome of 2020? Like this whole awkward, like, okay, here we go. No, never mind. Welcome to 2020. If you hear banging in the background, it's because I found mold in my office and my family is currently destroying my office. So we are starting season 2 of the HomeBod podcast with me destroying my office.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That's okay. We're going to talk about awkward. We're going to talk about transformation and where we've come through 2020. We are, getting close to a year since COVID started, and where normal life left. And for as much as I hate using the term a new normal,
I was just thinking, please, Ashley, don't say that.
Don't say it. I don't like the term new normal. I think we're finding new routines, and we're finding new and in some cases even better ways of making our home, head, and our health happy. And that is exactly what we are all about. And in no way or in no means I think the year 2020 has been the worst of everything for me.
I think I was just telling someone today that I vowed in March I said to my husband, this is going to be the best thing that ever happened to us.
Yes.
And so far, things are good.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? Like that whole cliche of, necessity is the mother of invention. Mm-hmm. We have found and discovered new things and amazing things. And there are things that I would not have ever done without shutdowns and without being forced out of my comfort zone. And that's when we seem to change the most, is when we're forced out of our comfort zone. And that really is kind of the crux of how I started the idea of becoming an organizer in the first place. I spent 15 years in radio. Like that was my other life. But when I hit the worst of the worst for me, and I discovered that, you know what, I don't like where I am. I was really out of that comfort zone. I was really, I had 3 kids in 4 years. My husband got out of the military. We were homeless for about 6 weeks. We not only, transitioned out of the military, like we didn't just change jobs, we changed careers, and we moved from New York to Montana. Like we went from one extreme to the other in so many ways. And it was entirely out of my comfort zone. There were so many things. Every major life transition you can think of, birth, death, religion, finances, children. Every major, career, money. Did I already talk about that? Every major life transition that we could have gone through, we did in a very short amount of time. Over the span of just a couple of years, we went from all of this over here to all of this over here. And I got into this rental, after we got out of the military. We had 3 kids. We moved, 3 weeks after my youngest was born, without anybody's help. And anyway, we got into this new rental that, I couldn't change. It was uncomfortable. And I just remember feeling totally and completely lost. And I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I wanted, what I wanted to do for my family. I didn't know who my husband was anymore. I didn't want to talk to any of my extended family. It was really like, I'm starting to feel really depressed just talking about it, but it was that breaking point of, this is so uncomfortable. I hate this. That's when I said, there's got to be a way to change. There's got to be a way to do something different. There has got to be a way for me to find that peace and happiness that I used to know, that I used to feel. And so now what? What's going to be my key change? What's going to make a big difference for me? And of everything else that I couldn't control, the one thing that I could control was my own home. How it looked, how it felt, how tidy it was, how clean it was, where things were put away. And that's when I started a shift. And it was simply a shift from having my master bedroom upstairs where the master bedroom was supposed to be to I moved my master bedroom downstairs into the living room.
What?
Like, it was just no, I didn't have doors, and it didn't matter because my kids were small, and, when they're teeny tiny, it doesn't matter anyway. But then all of a sudden, the things in the whole house shifted. The energy in the whole house shifted. And it was just this very small light bulb moment of, oh, I felt that. And I thought my physical surrounding, the way, that I can let go of things so that I'm not emotionally attached to stuff, so that I can dig into my relationships and fix them. This was me organizing things in a way that made sense for, a crazy mom with 3 little kids under the age of 4. This was a shift of finding out how I could boost productivity within my space so that I could be more, like I said, more productive with my energy and with everything that went on. And so I just had this shift. And it wasn't long after that that I decided, you know what? I could really do this. I could take this and run with this on a bigger scale and help other people who are stuck, who are absolutely stuck in a horrible, awful place. And hopefully they're not as stuck as I was or in as awful a place as what I was, but I can help people get out of rock bottom feeling like they are stuck in life and stuck in their space. And I can take it and run with it and grow and change and become a new person simply by making my home happy. And it
Yes.
it didn't have to start with my mindset. It started very, very physically, but boy, did it sure snowball into how I thought about things. Like, you can't have one without the other. You can't change your mindset without changing something physical, and you can't change something physical without changing your mindset. And it was like opening Pandora's box in reverse. That all of Pandora's box that I had just opened went and got sucked back up, and then it went the other way. And it's like, oh, this is amazing. Like, not only are we not in a horrible place anymore, but I'm thriving and I can teach my family how to thrive in their physical space. And I'm loving it. And that is exactly why I want to get on and do the things that I'm doing, to share what I am sharing and to share that with you so that you can get out of your stuck space and change these physical blocks and these mental blocks into something amazing and wonderful.
I love
And
it.
Heather, I have no doubt. I mean, when I said, you can't change something physical without doing something mental and vice versa, you're sitting there going, yep, yep,
Yep,
yep,
yep,
yep.
yep.
And I have no doubt that you have your own experiences that would parallel that concept.
Yes. Well, so yeah. 2020, everyone has said, it's the worst year and all the bad things. And I get it. Things have sucked for a lot of people. But I learned way, way back how powerful my mind was. Back when I was a teenage athlete, I worked with a sports psychologist, and she taught us how to manage our nerves in the start gate. So I was a ski racer. And when you're standing there by yourself and they start the countdown, your butterfly, like just talking about it, actually, my butterflies just
I
went.
was gonna say, I just got butterflies.
Your butterflies can make you freak out. And when you're nervous and your butterflies are going, your adrenaline is spiked, your heart rate is spiked, your breathing is getting shorter, which never ends well when you're trying to perform a sport any sport. If your body is sabotaging you, you're not successful. And so I got to a fairly high level, and the team hired a sports psychologist to work with us. And I learned the power of visualization. I learned the power of um, being able to stop a certain thought process and insert a different thought process and move forward in a positive way.
Love it.
And it's crazy because I learned that when I was probably 14, 15. And I temporarily forgot that as an adult and as a mom and as a career businesswoman, whatever. I got wrapped up in life like we do. And um, I was doing all the things. I was burning the candle at every end and in the middle. And I always exercise was always important. I was always at the gym. I'm not going to say it was ever always efficient. I was definitely sometimes just spinning my wheels because it's what made me feel good, right? I knew this is what makes me feel good. And when I don't do this, I feel crappy. And even if life is sucking right now, I can still do this and not feel so terrible. And at some point, we were under enormous financial stress. We had that conversation of which bill don't we pay today? And we had, jobs changing. It was right around when the recession hit, and things just were a mess. And I felt like everything was on my shoulders. And I was at that time working in restaurants. And so I was working nights and weekends and holidays and opposite times of my husband so that our kids, well, at that time we had one kid, spending as little time as possible in daycare, which results in mom and dad don't see each other.
Yep.
And I'd be getting home at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up with him early because he was little and just really frazzled. And I remember standing on a yoga mat for the first time. I was like, I knew, okay, this is where I said, kind of like you, I was like, something has to change. Like, I can't. And I was like, well, people say yoga helps with this. I was like, maybe I'll try yoga. Right. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to a yoga class. And I went in and I'm standing on my mat in my warrior pose, and the tears just started.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't even think I could feel embarrassed because I was so just overwhelmed with emotion. And the instructor, who's now a good friend of mine, she was so cute. She was just like, total typical yoga instructor. Just let it out. Just when we're on the mat, it's just such a peaceful place. And yeah, and she just did her thing. She did her yoga teacher thing. And I was like, okay. And the tears just came. And it was like this most cathartic,
That's amazing.
experience. And that's when I started to realize, okay, I need to start focusing on what's happening between my ears and how I control that, because the rest of this is spinning out of control. And I'm the only one that can fix this. And so that started my journey back to remembering what I had learned as a teenager. And then fast forward, I'm coaching people. Fast forward, I'm teaching fitness classes and I'm saying all these things. And I'm like, yeah, I knew that this whole time. Right. But I
Yeah.
still hadn't put it into practice very much for me. Then I started this company and hired a coach.
Ah.
Because every coach needs a coach.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And when she and I would sit down and have our talks, which PS we're on Zoom, and this was in 2017. So I've been here since before it was cool. A long time. Which if you're only listening, a little change up this year, as is everything else. We are recording virtually, not side by side. So on Zoom, like the rest of the world. And so anyway, so she helped me open this back up and start to recognize, oh my gosh, I have all these tools I'm not using. I have all this knowledge that I'm not using. Plus, then being the kind of person I am, I was like, I got to have more, 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 more. So I went and got another certification for behavior change. And then I just dove into all things mindset, books, podcasts, whatever. And I realized then that what was holding back the people who are in my coaching programs or in my classes was not that they weren't on the right macro plan. A macro plan is helpful. Please don't see 2020.
There's always something. You've got your bear of a dog, and I've got pounding going
Oh
on
my
in
gosh.
my
So I'm just
office.
gonna pet him so he'll stop bark. But I realized that all the things that the people were failing were not failing because they didn't have the right program. They were failing because something wasn't right in their mindset.
Yeah.
Yes. And simultaneously, that's when you and I connected, was
Yes.
about that same time. And we started talking at a networking thing, and we started talking about her approach and my approach, and we're like, wait a minute, we do
We're
the
the
same
same
thing.
person in a different way.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
exactly the same, only different.
Yes. Exactly the same, but totally different.
Totally different. But it was the mindset of it all that triggered both of us to say, ooh, you know what, we can join forces and really bring something to the table that perhaps hasn't been done before, and that we can really add value to the people who are willing to listen to us.
Right.
And so it's going to be, it's going to be kind of a stretch, we thought at the beginning, but it actually has turned out really well, that we think of a topic on mindset, and it's fascinating to listen to each other brainstorm what we're going to talk about and go, oh my goodness, we have very, very similar ideas. I'm just implementing it in the home, and Heather's implementing it in our bodies. But it all stems from a mindset and from this understanding that if you change your mindset, you're going to change something physical, whether it's in your home or with your body, and vice versa. That if you change your body, you're going to be changing something mental in order to make lasting success and change. He has his own opinion too. I love it. But it's one of those where season 1 was a whole lot of fun, and Heather and I were able to do a lot of talking, and we loved it. We also knew that there was more to it, that there are other people out there that take the same approach that we do, that they kind of skew off into a certain area, into a certain expertise, but they come from it with the mindset approach. And so it's been our quest in this break between season 1 and season 2 to find as many experts in their field as what we could, who skew off into their own field and into their own right with this common link of mindset. And if we can change our mindset, we can accomplish great and amazing things to make our home, head, and health happy.
Yes.
And so we're super excited to be introducing you to season 2 of the Home Bod podcast, and to introduce 2 or 3 times a month a guest that is going to take us one step further. Heather and I can approach things from our physical spaces, but these guests are going to dig us into their own world, but we're going to all connect in this mindset frame of reference.
And they won't all be, mindset coaches and stuff.
No,
we're going to bring you some other information that will help you with your overall health, help you with your overall life. Some stuff from different perspectives, different fields. But just like how organization and health don't seem to go together, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised to see how things like amino acids and our stuff go together. I mean, you'd think amino acids probably link with me, but how in the world does it relate to Ashley and what she does? It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. So, and then
I mean, gosh, who else have we got coming? We've got
career coach,
career coach, we've got a woodworker, we've got a chiropractor, we've got um
a holistic doctor.
holistic doctors, and somebody who does Facebook marketing. And so, I mean, we're trying to find people from very different, broad, vast places to come in and meet us in the middle and say, how does this all mix together? How does this all make
It's going
sense?
to be so awesome.
And
And
we're
then,
super excited.
then,
But wait, there's more.
but wait. So we came up with the idea of wanting to give you just a little quick nugget of awesomeness that you can put into your life.
Mhm.
A hack, if you will. And they are going to be happy hacks.
Happy
So
hacks.
just every once in a while, we're just going to throw them in at random. So you got to make sure that you are regularly listening. Make sure you've subscribed. You've got the little bell on your YouTube. You've got the little alert on your podcast app. So you know when we drop a new episode, because some of them are going to be happy hacks and they're going to be quick and short. Might just be Ashley, might just be me, might be both of us, giving you something that you can use right now, right this minute, to make your life happier.
Happy.
Yay, happy.
So we've got so many other plans that eventually we will roll out sooner rather than later. We've got the more value we add, the more options we're going to give you to participate. So we've got a lot of free content. We will also start pushing out some paid content together on Patreon and other platforms, so that if you love what we're doing, if you love the combination of what we're doing and the mindset approach that we're taking this season 2, then there are going to be other ways that you can participate to gain even greater value from what we share and what we teach. So just keep posted. Like we said, like
Deeper
2020
dives, deeper
is
dives on the stuff we're talking about,
exactly behind
ways
the
to
scenes,
implement it.
deeper dives. Amen. And
Yes.
we're super excited. We hope you join along. We hope you share this with somebody else that you can have these conversations with. Listen to the podcast and then call somebody up and say, hey, did you listen to this? What did you think about this? How can we improve? What can we do? So make sure that you are not only subscribed with the little notifications on, but that you share this with somebody else who could find great value in it as well. We are looking forward to one-on-one conversations just between Heather and I. We're looking forward to interviewing some great experts in their own fields. We're looking forward to happy hacks and everything else that we can push forward on other platforms.
Shoot us a DM on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and let us know if one certain topic, one episode just really was awesome for you. Share it with us so that we can start to share your success, because it would be really fun to shout you out if you're okay with it, to say, hey, Sarah from wherever just said that she had awesome success because she listened to one of our happy hacks, and this is how she put it into action. So we would love to be able to brag on your success or just celebrate with you. If you don't want us to brag on you, that's fine. We won't, but we would love to celebrate with you and congratulate you and encourage you. So, and if you have certain topics that you feel like we're just not getting to, shoot us a message about that too. Let us know what you want to hear. If you're really curious about hormones, or you're really curious about which bin is the most perfect bin.
I have an answer for that, by the way.
I actually thought of you. I went into a store that was closing and their bins were on sale.
Nice.
And I was like, ooh, should I buy them? They're on sale.
And
I was like, Ashley says that we don't need to buy extra stuff, especially bins, unless we have something to put in it. And I didn't really have a plan for that. So I walked away without a bin.
This is me doing my happy dance for you.
I did, however, buy a really cool water pitcher that infuses your water with these. And
nice.
It's been fabulous to have cucumber lemon water. So I'm happy with that purchase. That was an impulse purchase.
Brilliant. Sometimes impulse purchases are like the best things ever.
So I didn't get bins, but I did get a fabulous water pitcher.
There you go.
So,
oh, if you can't tell, we are so looking forward to season 2. Heather and I have a whole lot of fun together, and we're happy to take you along for the ride.
Yep. And we are going to continue being happy and positive and doing what we do. So if you need a break from what is this crazy world we're living in, you can turn on our podcast and you will no longer have to listen to the crazy. You just have to listen to our crazy. I think our crazy is pretty fun.
I think our crazy is a step higher crazy than most. Anyway, hey, we are so looking forward to it. Make sure that you comment, like, and share so that this can reach the people who need it the most. And we are looking forward to seeing you next week right here on the HomeBod podcast.
Yes.